15 years ago, I came to this exact garage and looked at a car on the forecourt, way out of my price range. 15 years later, here it is, an abandoned Corsa VXR, being sat for around 8 years. This thing has been neglected, it has been sat, it has been pooed on, there is tons of marks. So in the last video, the guys at Turtle Wax came in and we completely went through this car, taking it from a grubby, disgusting car and putting all of the Turtle Wax products to the test, and it came out unbelievably. I sat and scrubbed this thing until every piece of moss had been taken off of this car, cleaning it down, and even going onto the inside using, again, Turtle Wax, fantastic products to get this thing looking as good as it could. This did unearth a few problems though, one of them being tons of ripples in the rear quarter. But watch to the end of the video because we found some serious problems. Today we find out if it's MOT worthy, if this car will fly through its next MOT. I bought it with around 2 weeks MOT. Yes, 2 weeks. I know, that's a really stupid thing to do, especially as this car had been off the road for about 8 years with a suspected engine or gearbox problem. Hopefully that means one of two things. It's either been perishing by the side of the road or sat in someone's unit, or it's survived the last 8 years of just being sat around. Hopefully that is the case. Hopefully the dust covers, the mounts for the engine, gearbox, whatever, everything is okay underneath. Normally in videos like this, we do usually do a pre-MOT inspection on cars. If I'm honest, I'm pretty confident about today. I would like to say I'm not, but I really am. There's no crazy wear on any of the tyres. There's no lights on the dash while you're driving. There isn't any horrible noises while you're driving from suspension components, from wear, or maybe being sat and perishing. You'll see as we start it up. Look over. Oh, the radio's come on. It starts absolutely fine. No steering play, no real signs that it might not go through its MOT. So I think I'm really confident this thing is going to pass, but there will be advisories. There's always advisories. Let's see if this Corsa VXR that I wanted to buy 15 years ago from a forecourt, then subsequently sat for 8 years, is actually going to pass its MOT, and there isn't any crazy problems underneath. We are taking a huge gamble on this car. As I've said already, 8 years this had been sat in a field, in someone's unit, somewhere, on someone's driveway maybe, somewhere, and we don't know what the actual problem was. Hopefully it's not enough to fail its MOT, because I want to drive this around. I want to experience what this vehicle is like, because 18-year-old Jamie would have absolutely loved to experience this, to see what it was like to boost it up the road, sit in those big lovely seats. Let's take it down for its MOT, see how bad it is. Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
A few inches later.
Let's go.
Six and a half hours later.
And that brings us to today, where we have an MOT test certificate sheet saying that it's passed. It's passed with not flying colours. Of course, this car had been sat for years somewhere. We're still not too sure. I will find out the information as to where this car was. But interestingly enough, although we do have a pass, please don't click off the video. There's a few things we need to talk about. We're going to assess over the next maybe a couple of weeks. These are only repair if necessary. So advisories you would get on a UK MOT. So first one being, weirdly, I put my daughter's child seat in the back of this because, of course, going to use this here and there. Child seat fitted, not allowing full inspection of adult belt near side rear. So I didn't know that was actually a advisory on an MOT, but apparently it is. Next up is the near side front tyre is slightly worn. Brake pads on both rears are wearing thin. Brake disc worn and pitted, scored, not seriously weakened though. That's obviously due to this thing being sat, rust on the brakes, and I really haven't driven this that far yet, so that might be down to that. So maybe over the course of me driving this over the next couple of weeks, that might actually solve a little bit of maybe the brake pitting that is on the rear discs, but we will see down the road. So I'm actually really happy with those results. I feel like now it's on the road, there's somewhere we need to take this car. And here we are, back where it all started, where this car was sat, right there. So if you guys remember the video that I did previously, drove down here in my Corsa C 15 years ago, that exact Corsa VXR was sat pretty much where this Audi and this Honda is here. It's really weird bringing this back here. Right there, it was sat right there, and now it's right here. Unbelievable. I'm right in the middle of traffic as well, but it needed to be done. But victory was cut short when this happened on the way home. As you can see, driving along 30 mile an hour in third gear, this happens. That is the sound of the car in third gear popping out under load. And again there, small amount of throttle in third gear pops straight out into neutral. So this means that what I thought might be a relatively easy-ish problem to sort of live with for a minute means that maybe we'll have to pull the gearbox out of this car. Maybe that third gear just isn't happy. Maybe that might have been the reason why it was off the road at some point. Something's happened with the gearbox, we're not too sure. There's again not a lot of information about this car when me buying it. Today's video was a great video though. We got to take the Corsa VXR back to where I saw it 15 years ago, which is really cool. But of course, as you'll see by the video, driving it has exposed you know, a problem. Not a major problem, we can just short shift from second to fourth if you really want to, but of course this is my childhood hot hatch that I couldn't afford, so I'd like to make it right. We do have the next video coming up though, the wheels getting done, dents getting done, various bits and bobs like that, but I think I'm going to have to start thinking about gearbox related issues with this car. Of course, I'm talking to a lot of people maybe that knew this was coming, or that the engine might have a problem. The engine seems to be running fine, it seems to be boosting, it seems to be driving absolutely fantastic, but that third gear, yeah, I'm not gutted. I knew there was going to be a problem, I knew it was going to happen, but not this quick if I'm honest. So I'm still happy with the car. I'm glad we got it through its MOT, and to be honest, I hadn't actually really put my foot down on this thing until today, until we did it on camera. So it's news to me as well as it is news to you that third gear isn't that happy, but we'll assess that. Of course we're going to assess that in the next couple of videos. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you to Turtle Wax for sponsoring this series, resurrecting this Corsa, and thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one.